Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Outspoken Market Global. Leandro Guerra is speaking. Today's class is about trading the spot with the gamma exposure levels, on which I want to bring you a couple of examples from a very interesting market perspective that we had yesterday and we are having today with yet another possible agreement between US and Iran regarding the war. Now, there are few classes already in the channel about this subject, but the illustration or the picture we have today, it's quite interesting to give you more examples on how to do this beautiful type of trading with these levels. Let's start with yesterday, the 27th of May, on which we had a positive GEX environment and everything was pretty much regular. And the gamma levels, in this case, they go more than perfect. So this is the report about the gamma exposure that I bring for you for free daily at on-us.com, and I show you the call and the put wall, the gamma flip, that is the number on which we make the transition between a negative GEX environment to a positive GEX environment, the PCR, and the spot by the time the report is generated. In addition, there are some pin candidates that I make then based exactly on the dealer GEX, the gamma, and everything into the significant GEX zones, resistance and support levels, four of each, and the strength based on the amount of gamma exposure that we have. This is known, of course, before the market opening in Wall Street. If we look for brokers that allow you to trade the CFDs, they might be open almost 24 hours per day. Maybe they close 1 hour or 2 hours, whatever. But the point is, they follow pretty much the SPX. That is our main spot over here. Now, you see that yesterday my trading range, and I'm based on the Central European summertime time zone. So that is why you're going to see scales is slightly different from eventually yours, depending on where you are in the world. But my point is, since these values, they are known naturally in the beginning of the trading day, everything that has happened in the price after, it was naturally respecting these movements. So positive GEX environment, because the spot it's above the flip, means that dealers tend, they are not obliged to sell the tops and buy the dips of the day. This is dynamic information. Of course, it's not exactly in the number, but it will happen some way or another. And that is so true that the max of the day was 1750. That was one of the resistances that we have from the GEX. We went there, market rejected because that is the expected effect. So we sell the top, went back, hit the call wall. The call wall, in this case, in the first hit, was a support. Again, positive GEX environment. It bounced back there, came back, resisted a little bit, and then you see that the entire movement of the day was exactly based in our levels, right? Actually, I made the circle like wrong, should be here. That is the point, my friends. Each touch in the levels with special considerations for the walls and for the gamma flip that are the strongest ones, they allow you to trade the gamma exposure environment, thinking about trading the spot. Trading the options will be a different stuff. We are speaking about trading the spot. Positive GEX, they tend to be precisely resistance and support numbers in the way the market flows. This is poetry. These numbers, they are known in advance. I know options, they are very dynamic. The gamma value will change throughout the day and throughout the days, and then eventually we will have the dealers. But I'm trading this for quite some time already. And every single time, essentially, that single view in the beginning of the day is more than enough to give you the North Star to know what to do. And you can get this. You know how I did that? It's quite easy. I took the information from the OM2S. I placed this into ChatGPT, also with the chart, and say, look, plot to me. And then ChatGPT plotted the resistance. I'm saying this because if you are yet not believing that this is something that you can trust slash rely on for your trading, do the test for yourself or draw the lines yourself in your preferred software, website, whatever, or ask the AI that you like to do it and follow for some time. Do some pair trading and pay attention on how these things are going to react. It's pretty cool. Now, and today we got this reading over here. So this is another day, 28th of May. This was the plot in the morning, my morning, meaning US was yet, uh, I mean, there was not even a sunrise when I have plotted this because it was yet dark. It was early in the morning for me here in Europe. So these were the levels. And this is the picture of the day after 6 p.m. my time zone. You see, we got the announcement of the possible deal between them. We are yet in a positive GEX environment. And then you see that this view over here, it was what we had early in the morning. The gamma flip, it is quite important because we entered the afternoon into the positive GEX, but in the morning we are negative. What it means that movements, they are amplified. Even like that, we got a resistance by the gamma flip in the first touch, but then that exploded, and then we changed regimes. Plus the fact that was the announcement of the possible deal, so we really had something huge amplified by the transition of the regime, and that went straight directly from the call wall, but that is because of the deal. Now, markets absorb and do the interpretation of that information. We are hitting the first resistance in a positive GEX environment, and you can see that the price is rejecting. Pretty cool, isn't it? It's really, really, really cool. So again, we had exactly by the book what was expected from the gamma exposure trading with the spot. Another example, our friend Bitcoin. This is for today, right? 28. That was the reading from om-qs.com. These are the plots early in the morning again, right? Cool. What has happened during the day? Let's check it out. Yes, it was a pretty bad day for Bitcoin. So we are in an environment that it's not favorable for moving up at the moment. Is this not even, and Bitcoin not even had any reaction because of the war? Who cares? But then you can see that this guy, 73,000, if you will look back here, it was a huge or the strongest GEX value alongside with 80, but we not even close to 80. The other ones are 74 and 75 by size, right? And this is exactly where we are gravitating at the moment. And the 73 level, it's acting as it should be acting. A movement of rejection, since we are negative X, would make it go pretty quick to 72 or pretty quick to the put wall. That it's the second, actually the third strongest together with the 75 gamma exposure value on that level. So there will be a little bit of really resistance on there, but the movements, they will be amplified when these levels go away. In the same way that we have seen in the S&P 500. That is the reading for today, but Bitcoin does not have 0 DTs, so that is the expiration for tomorrow. So we still have a little bit of time until it happens, right? So again, another proof that it's actually pretty cool. Better than that, it's only the OMQS, because on the OMQS, Bitcoin was there exactly in between the support levels from the OMSND for the week. So it's exactly bouncing there. And we got in every single main asset a beautiful long triggered when the announcement was done. So imagine how beautiful it's following precisely this movement with our decision platform here to help you to decide what to do. So it's amazing. Okay, my friends, as I said, all the information, the models, they are available at om-qs.com. If you have any questions, doubts, suggestions for new class, please leave it here in the first comment. To me, it's a pleasure. And take care, trade safe. See you next time. Ciao, ciao.